Hello, welcome. Good to see you. My name is Elias Luukkanen, and today we are going to have this kind of a stream. Yay! And me testing it with mobile phone. I'm not really sure how this is going to go. I'm already regretting this a bit because, yeah, my other streaming camera is much better, and I'm not really sure about the audio quality as well. It might be the worst the worst kind. But still, welcome to the stream. My name is Elias Luukkanen. I'm a composer from Finland, and tomorrow is 1st of May, which is a big celebration here in Finland. And of course, I have work tomorrow. Yay! So, not free time for me, and that's why I'm doing this lazy stream because I today have some free time for myself. But today's topic, which we're going to discuss in just a moment, is very interesting one actually. We are going to discuss about what should be your ultimate goal and what kind of things should people strive for. And I find this kind of talk actually very interesting. Some people might think that, of course, a traditional career ladder is what they are going to do always. That's what they think. That's what they have been told that that should be the one to go to. And I'm not saying that it's a bad option in case you want to have that kind of decision to take that kind of career path for yourself. But I tell you that there are many ways. There's no one selected way to do things. Hey, we have first viewer here watching the stream. Hello, I'm just doing this sort of stream here today, and we are talking about what should be your goals in life. I tell you, this is a very big topic for me personally because I've discussed with people. I've seen so many people who have wanted to, have a chat and discuss about this sort of stuff. And usually, where it leads, that they have this kind of big goal in just how much money they want to have and how much wealth and such, and perhaps a family, and that's a good one. That's a good one. And perhaps they want to have a career and such. But usually, people have not defined what kind of things they want to have. I'm just thinking. I'm not really sure how is the voice quality good, by the way, in this. Like this might be the last one, that last test stream we ever do, because usually I stream in D Live, I stream in Twitch, and I stream in other places as well. But today I wanted to be experimental with this little time to do this one first. But yes, a very interesting topic. I've discussed with so many people on this, even older people, younger people, so many. And many seem to define what kind of career path they want for the success in career and the success in money. But I tell you that for me personally, it's not something I want to strive for myself personally because in the end, even if the money is what you're looking for this current situation for yourself, it does not bring basic necessities, basic happiness for you which you want to have in your life. For me personally, when I discussed with this one guy who was at the same age, he's an artist as well, and he had this big dream of going to New York, having his own skyscraper and that sort of stuff. It is not something I myself personally want to look in this life because if you look at the grand scheme of things, if you look at just the bigger picture, how how much are you actually going to get if you just have like if you the wealth for wealth's sake, if I myself, if I ever get a lot of wealth, which I try to get, I tell you I will do it hard. I will use most of it for doing something with it, not trying to make more money with it, trying to put it to art and such, because I see the value in that. Usually, when I've met richer people, people who have a lot of money, they seem not very happy personally. Just they seem very unhappy for many reasons. Most is that when the only thing you want to strive for is the wealth and that sort of thing, it makes your life feel very empty. I tell you, especially nowadays when we can easily just go to our own bubbles and people can live their lives alone and not seeing many people and interacting with people around them. And especially if you go to business, if you do this kind of harsh business with people, just trying to make as much money as you can. I tell you, it is not that fulfilling. It will be. It will not be. And for myself, it's uh, if I get basic necessities in life, that's okay. And that's what I'm going to go for afterwards is the art. Art is going to be the big goal for me, you know. But yes, of course, everyone has different goals. I'm not saying that you should follow this kind of idea I have on my mind, what should be and what should not be, because obviously you have your own life. You have to follow what kind of own life path you got, and of course it might be something just like a bit cheesy for me to say, follow your heart and such, but you should follow things you enjoy doing in this life, because obviously we only have one of it, at least as far as we know. So that is what you should do. But for me personally, just for my life, life's sake, that I've always done music for very low, like this kind of like a low entry fee, in the sense that I've myself used only like minimal resources to get where I want right now, and I'm happy that it actually starts bringing a bit more resources nowadays, so I can have like apartment and such. I have currently, like just today actually, I have this big plan for making this kind of what's the this kind of room for plants and such, which I start growing. This kind of what is it called? It's not a garden, but it's like an inside. What's the word? I just today purchased this one. I want to show you. Basically, this is banana plant. Basically, yeah. I just found a place which sells pretty interesting flowers and plants and such, and I've always wanted to have this kind of room for plants which I should grow. Of course, I'm not really expecting much happen out of that, just purchasing that. But I've always wanted this kind of room, which I now have, and I'm going to put there this kind of LED light, which is going to give them kind of sunlight in a sense that they can grow, then just some kind of air conditioning and such. Yeah, banana plant, that's how to go. Hello, Hawk, how are you doing? How are you doing? Hopefully the audio quality is not the worst. I'm not really sure how this is going to look. Perhaps afterwards it's going to look the very nasty. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. Yes, banana plant. I'm going to start growing stuff here. I've always wanted to grow stuff. Like I have this cottage in central Finland where I always try to go every summer to just to be near nature. Nature is really big for me because in the end, if you look at cities, if you look at these places, audio fine, video cuts a bit, but it's easy to follow. I'm sorry, man. Like I don't really know why the video cuts all the time. I don't know. There might be the connection or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but happy that it works. For me, looking at the cities and how they are built, imagine a city that's like 10,000 people, or 20,000 people, or 100,000 people. There's three times more rats live under every city with that amount of people. That's, the cities and how they are built and how far you are from nature. It really disgusts me. Even if the cities would look nice on the surface, it's just such a rotten base on every single city there is. So for me, like my great dream is that at some point when I am able to make this music thing, of course, work, I'm going to make it so that I could have this kind of cottage and have some plants there and get electricity from this kind of solar panels. That's kind of dream I wish to have myself. Just a small still stuff, but still I think fulfilling for me. And everything I do on here is very much forwarded on that specific goal. Like, of course, people might think differently. Some people might enjoy flashy lights of the city. Some people might enjoy all the services city provide, and I tell you that is something that is good. But it is just that the city life is very weird in a sense that you don't know much people around you. I live in this apartment here, and I don't know anyone in here. In a sense, of course, that's like obvious for everybody. Everybody lives in cities knows that you don't know everyone, you don't know heck, and and also very much that you are very much on your own bubble inside of your own apartment. You don't meet people outside of those people you meet in like events and in other interests you got. So I think that's somewhere where I think if you look at the big society and such, of course some people might not be interested in that, but I think we have got a bit astray in that. Because in the end, if we got more services, we got more stuff to buy and such, but still people feel empty because we are not meant to live in places where there's like 100,000 people, people don't know each other. I think that's just natural. I think that's something, at least for me, I am not a big fan of in long run. So I'm trying to build this little safe haven, banana plant and this kind of inside garden and and I also noticed they were like they were selling also chilies and lemon trees and such. I want to, sometime some point if I'm able to get that working, because I'm trying to build, purchase some solar this kind of LED lights and other things to make it work. If I'm able to get it work, I will show it to you, because oh man, that's my personal project. Oh man, yeah, it's interesting that, growing plants. I think it's something people should encounter at some point of their lives. I think. Little village, yo. Oh man, yeah. Let's have little village huts for people. People can make fire and such. Yeah, that would be something. Yeah. Nah, no. Seriously, you can't really do much in the city. Like the space I got is very small. Of course, a big for one guy, but I can't. Like my next step after getting plants would be that I would have some kind of house animal or something. But you can't really have house animals in a city. You cannot. You simply cannot. I have perhaps you people have seen some series where people try to go to these like specific Pacific islands and try to survive there for a week, like this kind uh, of course, some kind of TV entertainment, but still, people going to island trying to survive what's on the island. I think that kind of and that kind of things people lack nowadays very much. For me personally, I've been able to get that from being on the countryside and perhaps being in sort of like army where people just well, people, of course, we go to forest, we just we have to live on what forest allows and such. So that kind of experiment has getting me much closer to the fact that actually the reality is that if one day like shops would just go down and every service would just quit on the town, could you survive? I perhaps, of course, that's like kind of like I don't believe in this big catastrophes and such. But I would love to have this kind of idea that I would actually have solar panels to provide me energy and plants to and perhaps some animals and such. But that's kind of far off still. A house cat? You say hog? I'm not really sure on that though. Like cats, in a sense. Cats are really some animals that really want to, wander around and go around. In my city, I do not have that much places to go. So much people all around and such. Not much nature, and people don't really like when cats are just roaming around the city. So no, I'm not really thinking that that's the possibility. Also, I'm a dog person myself. If I would have that kind of pet, perhaps. Of course, I've seen some nice cats, but like dogs, I much more prefer because I've been just around them much more. I suppose that's the thing. Do you have a cat yourself? Hmm? But I mean, like in this sense, I perhaps it's kind of naive. Some people might think it's kind of like a naive idea, but I have this kind of idea that would be having a house where I could like do, of course, have a connection to internet and still modern stuff, but mainly just kind of like as a side hobby, try to have a banana plant and all the things to grow and salad and also perhaps some other food even, and that when it comes like perhaps some like animal that can actually provide something, perhaps like a chicken or something, but you cannot really have a chicken in an apartment house, so that's also a thing. Yeah, I have a dog, but I want a cat, perhaps reptiles. They don't need much space. Yeah, that's true as well. I'm not so much interested in reptiles, at least at the moment. In a sense, I'm not. Uh, are they really wanting to be with people? I'm not really sure. Like, I'm not. I have not thought about it. Snakes and such. Some people have those kind of big aquariums for them, but yeah, not really sure. So you have a dog but want a cat. Why? Let me know. Let me know. I'm not a cat person myself fully, but I can understand people wanting them. I can see why. But yes, basically, when you have this kind of life goal of yours, yeah, it's indifferent to people. It really depends. Like this kind of thing, what you want to do, also what we discussed about having pets and such. But I want to say that. For me personally, I want smaller lifestyle. Even though if I would have like tons of money, I would still want to have small lifestyle because I've seen people, I've talked with people who have this kind of lavish big lifestyles, and they are not happy people. I can see them. I can see in them, how they act, what they tell. Like many people, even though they tell something, but you can still see in them something that they do not say. This kind of thing. If you have seen yourself. But with these people, with a lot of resources, they are still unhappy. Perhaps their personal relationships are not that well. Perhaps the life quality is still not that well. Some people use drugs. I've seen that as well. And that sort of stuff. So perhaps that's something that people, even though they are would like to think that's the situation they want to go. Perhaps that's not what they like in deepest of themselves do want. But of course, it's different for people. Let me know what kind of life goals you personally have. I've seen people wanting to just have a small, like a family, and just live on their lives, and that's I think very good goal as well in a sense. I see you using different camera. Yes, I'm using my mobile phone, not the best one in the market, I tell you. But I'm lazy in stream today because tomorrow should be like a big festival day in Finland, but I'm going to work tomorrow hard, so I don't want to use that much time to just set up cameras and such as I do for every stream, but still have some nice stream talking about some interesting topics. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I met this one Belgian dude just 1 week ago actually that was very interesting in a sense that usually people like he was actually very intelligent guy. Like usually people at my age, I tell you, like of course there are intelligent people, but no, usually what I think looking at people, many cannot put themselves like they have many can have many great skills. Some of them can be a good painter and such. But I think the big problem for me, just looking at people, many cannot put themselves out and look at themselves like very clearly in a sense that many people cannot, or perhaps do not want to see what's around them. And I think that's something I am. I think that's something that only few people can do. And I've seen, of course, I know some people that can do it, but looking generally, that many cannot, and perhaps do not want to. That's okay as well. But like he talked about this big dream of just making a lot of money and such, and going and making a big businesses, and having being a big boss. And but I'm not fan of that in a sense because I've seen it from both from upper level and down level. Of course, I have never been a boss in big company, but just I know some people that are, and basically if I'm someone that works in a company and is in a like the very under the lowest level there is, it's like you're so replaceable. You are very much just a part of the machinery, and of course you can make money being a part of the machinery, but it feels very hollow. It feels very hollow lifestyle. It feels empty. It feels like you are just part of someone else's big dreams, and you are not actually making big dreams for yourself. Yeah, not big fan of that. Not big fan. It's some people are okay with that. Of course, some people have to sometimes just go to those kind of dreams. Many people at where I work right now part time when I gather some resources for my other projects right at the moment. Many people are having families and they cannot really choose what kind of lifestyle they have. I think only people in young, being young perhaps have some education. With those people, and of course, with some money, those people can decide what kind of goals they want to have in life. And if you're in that position, you're a very lucky person, I tell you. I myself, I'm glad to be in that. Of course, like my beginning has been very minimal. My beginning has been very kind of small one in the sense that in terms of art, I was nobody. In terms of I have not had much work experience and such in other areas and such. Just recently, I've got through some, but still, just looking at the bigger picture, things have only been very much growing recently for me, really nicely. So, like, if you look at yourself, if you think at like you're young and you want to reach some big things, you are you cannot you can depending on what kind of course opportunities they lie and what kind of goal you want to have. And I recommend if you have this kind of weird goal of perhaps become a let's say have a banana plant in your apartment as we got here, like go for it. I think you should. Many people have this kind of social restriction for them that some people, if they ask, like if they tell about their big dreams, I want to be a cartoonist or I want to be animator, people in their near circle do not support that kind of goal. And that destroys people because people want to do this kind of stuff. People want to do, animation art and such. And I tell you, it is impossible to make as a dream. And I'm realizing it for myself. But as in everything in life, you have to have money first to make some money, and especially if you want to make a big audience to follow you, like in music-wise, anything, you have to have beginning just to work hard and make it possible. Of course, going in different routes and such. But that's what you have to do. That's what you should do. Just go for what kind of dreams you want to go, and if that doesn't sound good for you, then go back. We have, in depending on our life situation, we can have decision. We can decide where we go, and I think that's why we artists need to, of course, work together and help each other out. Of course, everyone has to clear his own and her own path for themselves. They have to. They simply have to because you cannot just expect so sit around and everything just works right for you. You cannot. But at some point, only you can do only so much as a single guy and single individual. So working together is a possibility we can do to achieve something we want to achieve. Perhaps not directly, but indirectly, we can help each other out in our own little goals. For me, of course, just fulfilling good life is what I want to have, and especially art is that. On other part is just living a simple life, enjoying and having chats with people who I enjoy and that sort of stuff. There's always needs to be a balance. If you do too much art, if you consume yourself too much to art or anything in that matter, is that the fulfillment is going to vanish much away very much because the more you work on something, of course, the more better you get in that. But of course, the more time it takes away from everything else. The balance is the thing. But I think that is all about what I wanted to say today to you. It was weird to stream with this sort of mobile phone. I've never done it before, and I'm not really sure how it looks. And the video, currently, it just looking at it, I think it looks fine. It's not the best, and I just noticed I'm really tired because of the work. Oh yeah, it looks yeah, I can see it on my face. Oh, that's lovely. But yeah, I've a plan. I've planned to myself just to go on an area I myself want to go, and of course, work with people to make that happen. But just live a good life because we only, at least as we know, I think we only have one. So it's good to make good use for it, my friends. But yes, when I got more news on the garden, inside garden, I will tell you about that because perhaps in 6 months we're going to see this banana plant get some bananas. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, we shall see. Anyways, what wherever you are, whoever you are. I wish you a great day. Hopefully something that was interesting to you. See you later.